4 individuals are giving up 8 weeks of their lives to help others. The royal race for Fantasy Fest King and Queen is underway. This morning we are going to talk with King candidate Mark Watson. Mark, it is such a pleasure to be able to talk with you. Thank you for joining me on this very cold day.
It's so breezy and busty out. It was so terrible.
So hot, but this is September in Key West, definitely.
Comes with territory.
All right, Mark, I have to ask you the question that I know you've been asked many times before. Why'd you decide to run for Fantasy Fest King this year?
It was not a thought really that I had in my head until I was approached by 2 former queens who are very good friends of mine who've been there for me over the years and have done so much for me that it's hard for me to say no to them. So they were kind of like, it's time. And to be quite honest with you, I was having a horrible, this has not been the best year for me anyway. I'm like, well, how could I screw it up any worse? I'll just run for King of Fantasy. What have I got to lose? I'll be on the right path or things will change. So, but actually no, when I actually decided to do it, I got to thinking about it and I'm like, you know, I've been through a lot. I've lived through 17 years. I've had very, very high highs and very, very low lows, and this town's always been here for me. And I always say it picks me up, brushes me off, walks me to the next bar and buys me a drink. So it's done so much for me and has asked so little out of me. And I think as a family down here, you kind of just get to the point where you're like, you need to give back. And that's what, you know, make your mark is my slogan. And that means anything. Anybody can do that. It's a play on words, but still, it's like when your life gets to be very routine, why not shake things up a little bit, give back, pay it forward, and have like a moment of importance in your life when your life just seems so routine. So, you know, it doesn't take a crown to do that, but I figure I've always raised money here and I'll just do it on a bigger scale than I ever have before.
You were definitely shaking things up
in your
normal routine.
Oh yeah.
Mark, tell me about your platform.
This year the money that we are raising is earmarked towards, well of course prevention, but also education. And I think a lot of people, I come from a different generation than a lot of other people. I was an actor, and in the, you know, the 80s and early 90s, we got impacted so much within that community, and that was at a time when you were pretty much diagnosed with HIV, calling the funeral home because it was a death sentence. And we've grown leaps and bounds in what those of us who've been so close to it for so long, it feels like such a very long time, but in the broad scheme of things it isn't. And now we have a generation of people that think that it's chronic and that it's something you can live with. And while that may be true, as long as AIDS and HIV are still noticeable within our vocabulary, the problem is still there. A lot of people have gotten very complacent about it. And they think, oh, you can't die from it anymore, but people die every day of it. And I think it's just this false sense of it's manageable. And I think that's really scary because I know that it's still an illness. There is no cure. And until there's a cure, there's AIDS Help. And AIDS Help is done wonders. And it's been 25 years since it's been around. It's done miraculous things for friends of mine and miraculous things for people that, you know, can remain anonymous and don't have to have their life put out there. So I really think that if the education is part of it, prevention is still part of it, but it's the younger generation that we're trying to get to. The ones who are growing up thinking, oh, you know, it's just another disease, and they don't know the history behind it. And I think if we can change their minds, educate them a little bit more, and know that until we've gotten rid of it, the danger is still there and the problem is still there.
I think that's a great platform to be running on, Mark. All right, tell me something this morning that I don't already know about you.
I used to model a long time ago. When grunge chic was in, I had hair down to here, was very gaunt. And thank you, Anna Wintour, for killing that. She systematically got rid of that when she took over for Vogue. So I'm also a writer. I've had a play that came in second in a competition in Chicago. It was produced down here a few years ago. I'll be showing that in the back bar of Aqua as part of my campaign. So hopefully a lot of people that don't know that about me can come out and watch it. I have a DVD of it. I'm pretty proud of it. So.
Very cool, Mark. I want to see photos of you back in the day,
No,
right?
you don't. Nah, you don't.
Well, it is a pleasure talking with you this
Absolute
morning.
pleasure.
How can people find your schedule of events?
Find me on Facebook for Mark Watson for Fantasy Fest King, and just look on there. I'm going to have a website up. If you'd like to donate to my campaign or to any of the other candidates' campaigns, you can go to www.aidshelp.cc. When you get to the cover page, you'll see a picture of all of our faces. Click on that. You'll see a bio of me. A lot of things I can't talk about here that are there. You can read all about it. And there's also a PayPal link on there to where you can contribute directly, and it goes directly towards me, because whoever raises the most money gets the crown.
They get the crown. They get the title of king or queen.
Yeah.
Mark, it has been a pleasure talking with you. Have fun this campaign.
I will try my best.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
You heard Mark. For more information on the royal race, be sure to check out aidshelp.cc. Donate to your favorite king or queen candidate today.